Hello, I'm Charlotte Wright from Egon Zehnder, and we're very lucky to have with us Anders Opedal, who is CEO of Equinor. Thank you so much for coming, Anders.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
So we've just finished the CEO breakfast, and leadership was a big topic. What personal courage does leadership demand today that it didn't earlier in your career?
Well, earlier in my career, I had heading functions or a business area. As a CEO, navigating a company in this volatile world. Over the last 5-6 years, we have seen war in Ukraine, war in Middle East, COVID, etc. So it's about, really be able to navigate, take some bold decisions, even when you have a lot of uncertainty. And when you made those decisions, because you believe that will be the best in the long term, you need to be able to stand in it, even when you receive a lot of criticism on short term. So it's about, even in a very volatile world, be able to think long term and take bold decisions.
And it's volatility and complexity. I mean, given we're in such a complex world now, what do you think organizations need to bear in mind to identify leaders who have a capacity to thrive in complexity?
And this is something that we have thought a lot about. And what we are doing now in our leadership training is actually we're bringing in corporate dilemmas and complexity into very early leadership program in the company, such that, it's all, when you're head of a function or, working in a function, sometimes the answer is quite obvious and easy. When you get exposed very early in your career to corporate dilemmas and so on, and you need to kind of give a view and so on that, you very early see what kind of leaders that, are thriving with complexity and those that want to have everything framed in so they can make a very easy decision. So we actually using complexity and dilemmas in our leadership training very early in the career.
That's fascinating. And I think there's no role with more complexity than the CEO. We obviously work a lot in CEO succession. From your vantage point, what value can be created by doing CEO succession well, and what's the cost if it's not?
Well, obviously, there's a huge cost to bring forward the wrong CEO, and I work, of course, with the board on this long-term planning, and what I think is very important is that we need to, when we work with CEO succession, we need to work with the mindset that the world will be different than today. So it's kind of trying to copy today's CEOs will not necessarily be the success. You need to kind of what kind of world we will live in, what kind of trends is happening, the AI wave, the complexity, the geopolitical tension, and so on. So what kind of skill set and experience do you need to fill into those people that might be one of the succession candidates? And you need to bring that into the kind of early parts of the succession planning to make sure that they have a necessary experience when they are in the final race for succession. So I think planning for the future, planning for a different world, and make sure that is a part of the succession selection.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.